I'm Nathan Richardson. I'm the executive producer of Defiance, and I'm also the VP of development for Trion. So we are here today where we're going through mainly the focus of the game part of Defiance. The game itself is a third-person online shooter, and it's an open world experience. What we have also is that we're going through the crossover events between Syfy channel, the television show, and also the game itself. And predominantly the focus though has been on the game itself, which is now being developed by a team of 150 people in San Diego, and it's a pretty large venture that we're going through. So right now the game has been going through alpha since July, and we're still developing it. We will be developing it pretty much till launch, but we will also be developing it post-launch. So we have the entire team expanding the game after we launch the game itself. Right now the television show has finished filming. It's finished filming actually a month ago, and now we're doing editing and visual effects and stuff like that. So basically what we have is finalization on both parties, preparing for the launch in April. Just the number of people that are developing it, and the stories that we're writing, and the competitive multiplayer, and even just the story that the players themselves. I mean, we do have a lot of cinematics in the game itself, and they are more like small parts of a longer storyline. So each storyline and mission sequence that you go through will have a series of cinematics actually, which are part of a larger story, creating so many different cinematics which are moving forward very different parts of the storyline. So it's a lot of different environments that we're going through. The synchronization, so like the TV show team and the game team really being held and doing things in unison, and so that we are doing things in a way that doesn't limit each other too much, but also that we are doing and evolving stories which are synchronized with each other. So like what's happening with the story on television and the crossover events over to the game, that they are all a coherent and unified story. Because we also have the world story, which is what's happening with the world itself, and driving a lot of the larger events that are happening both in the show and the game. So the synchronization, yeah, that's the biggest challenge. And I mean, learning of each other, how you make games and how you make TV shows, so that you can actually innovate and create these kind of stories, which can be portrayed both in a television show and the game. A lot of the things that we're doing in the video game itself maybe isn't new, like individual things, but the combination of them are new, and we're learning a lot through there. I'd also say that we are more learning how to create the unified media experience, because we're doing it and thinking everything, like even when we're designing the game, we're thinking with the television show in mind, and the television show is being created with the game in mind. So I mean, it's always a situation where you have everybody thinking about the world as a whole and how you tell that story, rather than just thinking about yourself. Oh, I mean, in 10 years, I think that we will see a lot of more like transmedia, not necessarily TV show and online game, but I think that you will have a lot of more mediums which are driving a unified like world experience. You can think about like mobiles and movies and even alternate reality games and stuff like that. I think that this will be more common moving forward, because it is a compelling way of allowing people to experience a larger world through the medium that you feel comfortable with, like experiencing the world. I mean, some people simply have a preference of going through movies or television series or books, experiencing a world through that, while others would prefer, for example, mobile applications or the social aspect of a world and stuff like that. So it's basically storytelling and creating story on a much larger scale than before.
Surviving an arkfall is easy if you have friends. But to really live, you have to find a place to make a difference.